I'm Chris, and our game is Escape.
I'm
Chelsea.
The premise for our game is there's innocent townspeople. They were sentenced to prison, and it's filled with like malicious guards. They're not supposed to be there, so they need to escape. And as a player, you need to help them escape while avoid getting killed from the guards. If you ever played Mario vs. Donkey Kong, gameplay is sort of like that. And if you never played, I'll explain it. Alright, so basically, the game has like different levels with sub-levels. So basically, if you look at this like simple diagram, first level would be this like first castle tower that you would be in, and you would have like maybe like 5 or 6 prisoners that you try to help escape, and then they're gonna try to get to the end here, and then they're gonna move on to the next tower. So it's basically like multi-levels within a level, but it doesn't feel like different levels. It's kind of seamless. It just kind of moves seamlessly from level to level. So basically, you want to get the prisoners to go from one level to the next. Your objective is try to save as many prisoners as you can. It's okay if some of them die, but you're going to need at least a certain amount in order to move on, because there's going to be different puzzles, which you need a certain amount of prisoners to get through. So definitely you have to avoid the guards who are going to try to kill your prisoners. You're also going to have some resources that you can use to help your prisoners through the level. So the gameplay style, in this diagram, the green guys are the prisoners, the red guy is your guard. The prisoners are defenseless, so they can't go face to face with the guards. So you as the player are going to have to help the prisoners through each level. And you're not controlling the prisoners, you're controlling the environment. So basically, the castle kind of has a mind of its own. Like, so basically, if you click like the chandelier, it's going to fall down. So when a guard passes under it, you click on a chandelier or rocks or whatever, and it's going to fall down on the guard and kill him, so that prisoners can pass by and go to the ladder and escape. So basically, it's going to be point-and-click interface, a little bit of dragging, so it's very easy to use for new players. There's also going to be a toolbar. There's going to have like maybe platforms that you can construct, or maybe some levels you're going to have the ability to have fire, so you can use fire to like burn a ladder so that the guard can't chase after your prisoners. At the beginning of each level, there's going to be a building phase where you can, from your toolbar, you can build like platforms, try to build a path for your prisoners. You can also make traps. You want to try to predict like the patrol paths of the guards, and you want to place your trap there so that when the guard goes through it, that you'll be able to catch him. In addition, so like you also have, there's also going to be like timed events. You want to make sure you activate your trap at the exact time that a guard passes through. So in this example, you want to wait for the guard to kind of move over this seesaw. Then you're going to add weight by clicking on it, and it's going to launch them up into the spikes. So, and then the prisoners will be safe. And also, Philip's going to show us a small demo that he made. So.
Yeah, this is the first build I made in GameMaker. Obviously, the game is going to be in 2D. You see, these guys are your prisoners. They just move on their own, and you control the environment. So I click on this wall, the wall's gone, and I click on these outlines. I put platforms there so they cannot fall into the spikes and die. That's pretty much. You just see it's just the environment. Once they get to the ladder, they just climb up it and all that stuff. And that's pretty much most of the first build right now. I haven't added any guards and bugs. This is basically what you're doing, just controlling the environment. And you have limited resources. If you look in the lower left, you see how many platforms you have. I have 19 more, so I can only put in 19 more platforms. just like a resource game for them.
Okay, and like we said, the audience is anyone, all ages, all levels. We'll have a high scoreboard of some sort, so for advanced players can maybe try to save as many prisoners as possible, or do it in a certain amount of time. The controls are pretty simple, like you saw, and there's just cartoon violence, nothing. And the resources we're using, like you saw, are the PC, and we use the program Game Maker to program it. The AI concepts, like we said, the guards are the main AI components of this game. And so we were thinking of using maybe the A-star algorithm, obstacle avoidance, trigger systems, and the guards need to be intelligent in efficiently chasing down prisoners and also maybe avoiding traps that you might have set, or taking paths that are less likely to have traps in them. And we're going to have different guards with different abilities, so that will also require different AI concepts depending on how strong their abilities are in certain ways. Questions?
What did you use to implement that demo?
Game Maker.
What did you say, Game Maker?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have any plans at this point to implement dragons?
We could.
Yeah, I noticed that when you're placing the little blocks and stuff, there's like an outline of where they can be. Would you be able to make it so that you don't see an outline? Because it kind of makes it seem a little too obvious as to where to put the blocks.
Right. I'm sure that would be something we could definitely think about. So.
This was just the first build, so it was
Right.
Yeah, maybe the first level would have an outline or a tutorial.
It was inspired by Lemmings.
Yes, I couldn't remember that game, but yeah, I remember seeing that game a long time ago, so I guess that kind of sparked some inspiration.
Maybe it was inspired for me from Mario vs. Donkey Kong.
So I just want to clarify, there's no player avatar that is guiding them, they're just automatically controlling themselves. Because when you first presented the idea, I was like, oh, this sounds like a really cool, fun action-adventure game, but no, it's a point and click and control the world.
Yeah, it's more like the prisoners are kind of mindless and you're like God or something.
Yeah, okay.
You said there were going to be puzzles that require a certain number of prisoners. What happens if you don't have that number of prisoners when you get there? Does the game just like end?
And you get to restart it.
Yeah, so basically, like the game knows in advance how many prisoners you need on the next level. So if you only have one survivor and you need two for the next level, then you can't progress. You're gonna have to start the level over.
Like, let's say, is it like progressive? Like, let's say you start off with like 10, and then like you got 5 on the second level, like, and then you'll just like continually dwindle down like throughout all the levels.
Basically, so if you start off with 10, you can theoretically end with 10 if you're good.
Okay, but
So, yeah, so basically, like, most people might end up with like only 7 or 6 because the guards kill them.
so like every level you just start off with how much you.
Yeah, exactly. There might also be some sub-levels where there might be another prison where you can gain some prisoners, so. Yeah.
I thought the demo was really good, but it kind of makes me wonder, are you guys actually going to have enough work to do throughout the semester? Because it seems like it's almost pretty much done.
Yeah, that's.
We're going to have in like, you can put in ladders instead of just platforms. We haven't actually made it to cards yet, so we have to do that AI part. We actually haven't made it to levels, so that too.
Yeah, we have a lot to do. There's a lot of work to be done. Like, there's a lot of tools that we can implement. Like, in the slide I was talking about maybe implementing fires. So I think that would be definitely a cool idea. So if you use your fire tool, you can burn wooden ladders or wooden planks to make it, to destroy the path so that drivers can't chase after you.
Yeah, basically, we have a lot to do. So.
Okay, let's thank them.